Where do I start? They say life imitates art. I'm trying to paint a picture. Paint a picture that's licking you scripture. I ain't just another nigga. Another nigga with a dream. It seems we finally made him all believe. A dream to be the reason we come to achieve the life that we would all kill for, even die for. High score, so sick, so sick. Sick and tired of these little kids talking bullshit.
There you go.
MEECH.
That's the correct word.
MEECH. You're here.
I'm here, finally.
Laura, you're also here.
I'm really excited.
Where's Sean?
Sean's in Cape Breton helping one of his good friends out for Live for Tents. They have a kind of something similar to this. They have a whole experience going on in Cape Breton, and he's busy doing that.
Okay. We love Sean.
I suppose he's forgiven.
Oh, he's always forgiven.
Thank you. Welcome. Oh, no. Laura. Hi.
Hi.
You're here.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you.
I'm excited to learn about things inside of your brain.
Okay.
Will you share them?
I'll try. Try my best.
Yes. Welcome everybody to the Changing the Narrative podcast episode. What's this? 26? 26. V knows 26. I don't know what episode it is. Welcome to episode 26. Where are we?
We're at the Harrison Lewis Center out in the South Shore.
You gonna have to learn how to talk to your microphone. You should be used to this though, Mr. Superstar Football Player. You get on camera and they ask you tough questions and you answer them.
I'm not really a superstar though. I was just a football player.
Just a regular one.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
I always have a good time.
Good.
It's always a good time hitting people.
So is that why you liked playing football?
That's the main reason why I played football.
To hurt other humans?
Of course.
That's why I never played football. I'm scared of people like you, admittedly. We have two guests here today. Unfortunately, Dwayne is not here again.
Yeah, he's taking some much needed time with his wife and kids.
Listen, family is...
The decompression post Moments in Culture is, I'm sure it's still ongoing.
And he was in Vancouver. He was in Vancouver last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing things. He's having family time. Much love to Dwayne. Shout out to Dwayne. We see you next week, hopefully. In the meantime, I'm sitting next to Lawrence Sears of Common Good Solutions / Placemaker 4G. Yo, business partner is across. His name is Bradley Day. He's here too in the audience. Hi, Bradley.
What up? Can I do that? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can, you can do whatever you want, buddy. It's all good. And we're here today with two of the members of the Halifax Social Network. You want to introduce yourself to the people?
My name is Demetrius Ferguson, but everyone need to call me MEECH. And yeah, we're from the Halifax Social Network, and it's good to be here. And thank for having us on your show.
Of course.
And we really appreciate it. And can't really go wrong with free advertising, free marketing.
Hey, you said it.
Hey,
you said it. And Laura is here.
Yeah.
What is your first and last name?
My first name's Laura. My last name's MacAulay.
And you
spelled with an A.
And you
People got that
became
wrong.
part of the team when?
I'd say it was April, May.
yeah, May.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Right before our last event at Garrison.
Yeah.
Okay. You needed some help.
Yeah,
It was growing fast.
Yeah, it was growing really fast, and we needed some help, and we needed some diversity as well, and we needed to have cool-minded people who could bring a lot of different things to the table that I can't bring, and
Right.
Laura and Ruth are a big help to us. Now they probably do all the work now.
No, that's not true.
Funny how that happens. No, well, thank you guys both for coming. We're going to shoot the shit. We're going to talk about the social network, why it started, why it's working, because damn it, it's working. And congratulations to your whole team for doing it. Bringing, how many people are here today?
17, well, 18 including Flo.
Yeah, you can't forget Flo. Flo, the cute baby Flo. Yeah, we're going to talk some shit. We'll learn about what you guys do. And then we'll learn about a little bit more of each of you as well, if you're cool with that.
Absolutely.
I'm always down with that.
Our first segment is our weekly recap. So we talk about what happened in our weeks, personal and professional. Shall we start so we can set the tone for how it works? Lauren, you gonna start. Go ahead.
Well, this week I feel like I'm shaking off vacation. I was in Caymans a couple weeks ago, and I'm trying to get my head back into it. And thankfully, it's not like an epically urgent time, so I've kind of had space to do that. But it was a really big week for P4G. We actually completed our first placement, and well, I'm Bradley's here, so I'm excited about that. And Matt really took this one on, but it was for a position in Cape Breton for an engineer. And the person that we placed was living in New Glasgow 5 days a week, working, and then only seeing his wife and 8-month-old daughter on the weekends. So we got to move him back to Sydney, which is where he's from. There's not a ton of opportunity in Cape Breton right now. Like, there's a lot of bubbling and a lot of want for it. But we kind of all got on this conference call to hear, like, to send him his offer and have him read it while we were on the phone. And it was like shit-eating grins all around. Like, you could just feel it in this space, you know, in phone land. And he was reading the offer and was like, oh my God, I got the offer. First of all, this is amazing. Oh, sick benefits. That's amazing. Oh, wow. That's a really generous salary. It was like far and above anything he's making right now. So to have that kind of comfort in a place like Cape Breton, and to go back to your wife and kid is kind of a huge deal. So we're all feeling like really, really good about that. So
Good for you.
that's been our week, and now, yes, thank you. That's exciting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then, I decided to take this weekend for myself and join the Halifax Social Network here at the Harrison Lewis Centre in Port Jolly. After we had an amazing event on Wednesday at the Common Good Solutions space, so that was our first like really big party in our new space.
Emily ran kind of the configuration
Shout
of
out
that,
to
no?
Emily Miller. It was amazing. I think the ambiance was pretty
Energetic.
It was lit. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had like 85 people in that night. In the picture anyways.
Yeah.
So in the picture
Yeah.
that Sean took, there's like 85 people in it, and you know that there were some more filtering in and out.
Yeah.
The party was supposed to start at 7:30. Okay, I couldn't find parking at 20 after 7. I'm standing outside, meet someone that's walking into the party at 25 after 7. I get upstairs, there's already like 40 people there. This is Halifax. No one goes out to party until like 11:30 p.m. or midnight, and they're early. We're all millennials. What the hell is that about?
Facts.
That's how much energy is behind the Halifax Social Network right now. So it's fascinating.
It is.
It's
beautiful.
fascinating.
Again, like, congratulations to you guys for what you're doing. Because it's work. I get all these like giddy feelings where I'm like, oh, I had this idea and it's working, and you're surprised. And I know you guys must feel that way sometimes. Like, I can't believe that this idea we manifested is working. But then it's like you put in all the work. No wonder it's working. Right? So again, that's just another opportunity for me to say you guys are fucking awesome.
I think it's also Halifax, though. I think Halifax is really budding. So, though, like, I know MEECH and Sean started this, and they really wanted to get people together who are usually connecting over phones. But I think Halifax really needed and wanted this. So it's not just the team.
We're going to get right into that.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into that.
Deep dives.
Yeah.
Super deep dives, and I'm excited for that too. This week, what did I do? Ooh! I get to tell you guys my news.
That's right.
So,
Hopefully it's good news.
no, it's great news. I was really excited.
Excellent news.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I started a job.
Like a real job?
Like a real job.
Like a 9-to-5 kind of job?
There's a little
9 to
more.
5 isn't really
No.
ish.
There's hours that are very flexible, and it's part-time, and it's freedom. And what's the word I'm looking for? Security?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of security while you're still building your own business.
Yeah.
So it's going to give you that liquidity that you need, and then you kind of get to you can keep going. You're doing a good
Okay,
job.
so I have to like full out hustle less
Yes.
because I don't
You get
have
to be choosier. You get to be choosier. You only now have to pick the epic projects.
Yeah, and I get to do what I want. So I took a 1-year position doing video content for the great Common Good Solutions.
Yay!
Which I'm very excited. Thank you. I'm excited because I finally have vacation time, health benefits, like the normal things that you don't have when you start your own business, and just to be able to like go to the dentist and not have to spend absurd amounts of money to do it.
I still do that, by the way. Spend an absurd amount of money doing it.
You got no benefits?
You know, when you're not Canadian, you didn't really have a lot of things. So a lot of things do cost money.
That's unfortunate.
I know it
Get
is.
your money up there. That's all. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, like I said, I'm just I feel more normal, like having a job, which.
But it's kind of like a cool job, you know.
It's doing exactly what I want to be doing, so I'm happy as shit.
And I get to see Lauren all day.
Lauren all the time.
So it's just one more piece of Lauren's Grandmaster vision falling into place.
Yeah, this started some time ago,
Yep.
and we've been plugging away at it slowly but surely. So yeah, I'm going to be making training videos, which is cool for me because I did my BEd, so like understanding curriculum and like how to teach people things is something I know.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
bonus.
Right? So now I know I know how to like take information and then like teach it to people. So now I'm gonna like actually learn the information. It's all social enterprise business development. So I get to make these videos, learn everything about building a business, and be in a really cool space making things that I've never made before. Mm-hmm. So there's like wins and being around cool people. I got so much more done this week just working out of CGS than working from home.
Oh, definitely.
Like miles and miles more things accomplished versus sitting in a basement by yourself.
So you make it sound so bleak.
Sounds like someone just locked you down in your basement and left you there.
Well, I locked myself down in the basement and left me there because I really felt like I needed to. The moment is here now. If you slow down and like someone else is gonna pass you, so I have that in my brain, and now I'm like, shit, I don't have to go as hard as I have been going because this other thing exists, which means I can be a normal person and like go away on a weekend retreat because I want to, and I'm not forcing myself to work when I shouldn't. So that feels fucking fantastic, and keep doing. If it wasn't for all the wild foolishness that I had been doing, I wouldn't be here and wouldn't have this position, and we wouldn't have connected the ways that we do. So keep doing what you do, even if it feels like you're doing it for nothing. MEECH.
Well, you're not really doing it for nothing. You're doing it for something.
See, that's why you're here. Dropping gems. Laura, how was your week?
My week was good, especially like looking back. It was quite a bit at the time, but I learned a lot this week.
What did you learn?
Patience. Yeah.
All in
I
one
took
week?
a really awesome position with Sid, who is not in the room.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Everyone's getting jobs this week. I like it. Are you allowed to tell us what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm helping Sid with Soapy. So he runs an Airbnb property management. He's been featured on the show.
Post often, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is.
So I'm gonna help him grow. It's growing really fast, and I'm really excited for the opportunity. It's kind of like accelerating my knowledge, and I get to take on new things that I've never learnt before. But I'm really excited to do. And I also worked at Niche for 4 days before realizing that I really want to work for Sid. So
4 days.
And Rachel is in the room. She's my roommate, and we just moved into our new apartment. So
it's a great week.
It's all great week. Cool shit's
and then
happening.
I get to top it off with a retreat with amazing people.
Damn right. This is perfect. That's a fucking fantastic 7 days.
It's a lot to do. I was just gonna say it's a lot to do in 7 days.
That's great. You keep doing that shit. That sounds really good. Amazing. Good for you. MEECH.
I love that you call me MEECH now. I appreciate
Listen,
that.
I
appreciate
screwed it
you.
up so many times that I didn't want to keep making you upset. Nobody wants
No one wants to do that.
to do that. How's your week?
It's great. It's always a great week. It's a busy week. I always try to keep myself busy doing something.
What do you do?
That's on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Well, my day is full. I have an itinerary for my day.
Okay.
I get up at 5:30 every morning. Take my dog out for an hour walk. Then I go train myself for 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Take my dog for a run after that. Then I go into work. Yeah. So I try to get a lot of stuff done before I go into work.
2 cardio sessions with the dog?
Yeah.
Before you do anything?
My dog is 165 pounds.
Oh yeah.
So,
That's a human.
He's a human.
Damn.
So
What's his name?
Crixus. So if anyone ever watched Spartacus, Crixus is a gladiator off of Spartacus, and he's one of my favorite characters. So I named my dog after him. I was like, as soon as I get a dog, he's gonna be named Crixus.
How old is he? Because he been big for like even when he was little.
Crixus is 2 years and 4 months and 12 days.
That's dead.
Jonathan and Autumn know how many days exactly at the top of their heads that Flo's been here. And hours.
Almost 6 months.
I did.
Good.
He's my son, so he's my number one priority in my life, so gotta look after him.
Why is he? I mean, obviously he's your dog, but how did that become like it, or not it, but number one?
I grew up around dogs, and it's something that I always enjoy, and I needed someone to talk to all the time. I needed someone to be with me all the time because I live with myself.
Right.
And I don't like cats.
They're weird.
Yeah, cats. Yeah. I'm a cat fan.
Okay.
But I needed a dog, and he fills all those gaps for me. Like I don't have any kids, so he's my son, and he's my he's my number one priority. So I kind of have to evolve my day around my dog.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he's a really cool dog.
I want to meet him someday.
And for those that don't know you, MEECH, what do you do for work?
For work,
Yeah, when you finally finish all the cardio, where do you go?
I go with the 6247 Quinpool Road. Located courtside sneakers.
Okay.
Big ups. We've been in business for 7 years now, and courtside was originally started in PI in 2011 by one of my great friends, Nathan Clark.
Yep.
And came up with a great idea, and business has been booming since. And
7 years?
7 years now. Time flying.
Shit.
Time flying. And he brought me on to the team in 2015, and we opened one up in Halifax, and that's been my day-to-day job since, and I enjoy every minute of it. For me, it's not. I'm a sneakerhead. I love sneakers. I love everything about sneakers. Since I was a kid, I probably own over 250 pairs of sneakers.
Why do you love sneakers as someone who had a deep-seated passion for them as well?
Sneakers for me is all about experience and storytelling. It's about sneakers is just the culture of the sneaker culture has just moved from what it used to be. Now it's all about the resale market, the value of sneakers, and with me it's about if I bought a pair of shoes, like what did I do that day in that pair of shoes, or my favorite dance, or my first kiss, or you know what I mean. That's something that I can relate back to that sneaker. My favorite sneaker all the time is the Jordan 12 Flu Games. I remember those are the first pair of shoes I bought when I was 12 years old. I started my first time full job when I was 12. And I remember walking.
Doing what?
Work. I was working as a construction helper, and I packed groceries.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's worked off tips.
Yeah.
And I remember walking out of the store in my brand new pair of sneakers, and as soon as I walk out of the store, I found $100.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
And I was
Good luck,
like,
sneakers.
These are my favorite sneakers.
Yeah. That would do it, eh?
Since then, I've never found money in the ground. Never found money in the ground.
You better keep the blue games
Keep
off.
the games off.
Don't take them off.
But
Wow, that's cool.
But I still have those sneakers to the day.
Wow.
Since I was 12.
And I think the Jordan brand, and I think this is kind of the story of like the resale value and just like making as much crap as possible. A lot of the stories behind the shoes that are being made are being lost because it's just about commercialism and like how much money Nike and Jordan can make. They don't care about the story of the shoe or if there's any history behind it. It's like, can we sell it? Can it make money? Let's do it. So how do you feel about that as someone who has to sell shoes and you see shoes with zero anything behind them?
I mean,
especially in comparison to the Flu Games, which is like there's legendary stories behind that, right?
And the staple shoes, but like the normal shoes you get is, I'm just like a normal person. To be honest, if I don't like it, I don't like it.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to a customer and say that's my favorite shoe.
Right.
And I don't really sell sneakers to people. People come into the store, most of them know what they want.
Right.
And some of them just try to browse around. I don't sell anything to anyone. They come and they buy it for themselves. And I'd rather let you choose your own sneaker than me choosing yourself. Then that means I'm choosing the sneaker for you.
Right.
And I'm not about that.
That sounds really cool. Come on in, Sid.
That's my boss.
Sid's back.
But
I love Sid.
a really cool thing happened to me this week.
Talk about it.
So Laura asked us a question about tell us a really cool story when we were on our hike in Keji. And so 3 weeks ago, was the first time I talked to my dad in 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah. We never really had a relationship, but now this week we kind of made a pact that we'll talk to each other 2-3 times a week now. And
Okay.
and I realized that this will be the first time in 9 years I'll be able to tell him Happy Father's Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a cool thing that ever happened to me this week.
What brought up the need to reconnect?
I've always wanted to reconnect with my dad because at the end of the day, he's why I'm into this world. He brought me here,
Right.
and I want to have kids someday, and I want them to know who their grandfather is,
Right.
and I want them to know that their dad had a good relationship with their dad, and I want me and my father to have a good relationship. We never really did. When I was a kid, I left the Bahamas when I was pretty young,
Okay.
and I had a lot of hatred and dislike and I was pretty angry when I was a kid, so a lot of things happened. But I realized that at the end of the day, he's my father and I love him. Doesn't matter what he did or what we both did to each other.
Right.
I kind of want to just build that connection with him again.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That actually kind of is a great segue into our lessons of the week. And I'd like to, I'm curious what lesson maybe you've learned or are learning or maybe looking forward to learning from that reconnection.
Well, my lesson is that people need to, and myself, I learned that to stop holding grudges
Okay.
towards people and stop being angry about things. You got to be able to just let things go sometimes if you're trying to keep on building that relationship. Try and really just hold on to things for too long because it's at the end of the day it's gonna eat you up.
Right. They don't know how you feel.
No, it's gonna eat you up. It's gonna stress you out. You're gonna be worried, and that person who you're upset about, they probably don't even care.
Right. Yeah.
So it would make sense that you trying to eat your own self up if you could just turn around and just say, you know what, fuck it.
It's easy to say, but much harder to do.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, how do you say I'm going to do it and then stick to doing it?
I hold myself accountable for a lot of things. If I say I'm gonna do something, then I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I have like an alter ego that always holds me accountable for things.
Okay.
So I always put that responsibility on myself to whatever I say, do. We ever say in the Bahamas, say, do what you mean and say what you mean and do what you say. So I've always done that. I don't like bullshitting people and I don't bullshit myself. So if I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Sounds amazing. Laura, do you have a lesson of some knowledge and wisdom? Yeah, she's shaking her head. She ready. Go ahead.
Absolutely. It's what I alluded to before. So this past year, I've been slowly working on a business idea while I was going to school and piloting as well. And I think, like, just coming back to Halifax, I really just wanted to dive right in. But with being a student and having student loans and not a whole lot of like financial support to go and start a business, I realized that I need to be patient, and I still have a lot to learn. And I know that I'm going to learn a lot working with Sid. Sorry about that. This is new to me.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think that was me with my phone.
Oh, did you do that?
Yeah.
Turn your phone off. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it's been tough to make decisions this week because I really want to work on my business, and I don't want to hold myself back from working on that business. I need to switch my mind and say, be patient. There's still lessons to learn. I can still work on my business while working for Sid, especially because I'm learning a lot of things that are going to help with it.
Right.
And just
because you mentioned something, and sorry to interrupt you. You mentioned something last night at our dinner chat about transferable skills.
Yeah.
And learning certain things and then being able to apply them within different realms of life. And, But recognizing that what you're learning can be used elsewhere and finding ways to implement it somewhere else. No, that's really cool.
And it's one thing to preach it, and it's another thing to actually realize it. So, and I think that's what I realized this week was I need to think that way, you know? I need to see the value in it. It's just like what at the last network event, Dexter was saying, there's like opportunity in anything you do, and you're gonna learn something. So, but I just realized it, you know?
Good.
Yeah.
Did you just graduate?
Second time. Round 2.
Okay. From
St. FX.
And so you'd be how old?
I am 22, turning 23 this year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Baby.
And I'm curious because I don't think I grasp the concept of. I still don't think I've grasped the concept of patience, but it's only kind of like started to maybe happen in the last year. Mm-hmm. You have all of this stuff you want to do, and you have other priorities to then have to take care of. So I'm curious what is patience like to a young 20-year-old person? Like, how do you process that? Because we clearly would process things differently.
Mm-hmm. I'd say it's difficult because there are a lot of pressures in terms of the conversations that happen as a 22-year-old when an older person comes up to you and asks you, what are you doing with your life? You know? So you have to drown that and filter it out, right? So it is tough, but I think, and I'm probably not going to be perfect at it.
No, you won't be.
But one thing that I mentioned, it's good to know.
But none of us will be perfect. No, it's not going to happen. But the sooner you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to be perfect, then the sooner you're like, oh, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares about being perfect?
Yeah. And going back to some of the things that I was talking about yesterday with like the game of life, if you can teach patience to someone, that's when you know that you understand it. You know? And if you can teach it to someone and they can understand it, you know that you understand it. Even if you may not be perfect at it, you know that you understand it and you'll get there.
How do you teach someone patience?
It's
just guidance, I guess.
My mom's been teaching me for the past 5 years. I think I finally got it in the past couple of weeks.
Talk about that.
I'm not a really patient person when it comes to like certain things.
Okay.
It's like I can't. It's just like this morning trying to wake people up. I hate
Breakfast at 5:30. Holy shit.
I'm a guy with time. I hate waiting on people, and I hate like doing stuff. So like, if I have to wait on someone for like, if I was home this morning and I had to wake you up and wait on you, I would have left.
Yeah.
I would have left you home sleeping. Because I'm like, it was always hard for me to be patient with people because I was always on the go, always in a rush.
Right.
Everything I do with my day is always like, I guess I got to go to the grocery store for 45 minutes, and I can't be longer than 45 minutes.
Right.
So now I'm just learning to like be more patient with myself, be more patient with my dog, be more patient with a lot of things. And I think that my mom, she just taught me because I'm very patient with her. And I remember when we first became family, I wasn't the most patient person. And over time she was like, Demetrius, you know, if you're gonna have a wife someday, you're gonna look back and say that, you know, my mom taught me some patience.
Right.
I'm like, Mom, I'm not getting married tomorrow. I don't think I need to learn patience right away.
I got a question for you. As someone with such a structured routine day, does knowing you can only go to the grocery store for 45 minutes, does having those time slots within your day, I would think that would, for some reason, make you more patient? Because I'm starting to structure my days more. And I'm like, oh.
That's why I structure my days. I learned that patience.
Right.
Yes, because it made my day more flow
right.
better.
You put it out in front of you, you can see it. It's like, oh, I don't have to rush because I know I can accomplish all these things within the time that exists.
Yeah.
Interesting. Lauren, what'd you learn this week?
Quit making excuses and just get your ass outside.
Uh-oh.
No, there we go.
On Friday,
here we go.
I think Kristen said it. I was thinking of every excuse because I said I was going to come out to this, the Harrison Lewis Center with the Halifax Social Network, and I was trying to think of every excuse not to come because you mentioned that you were just uncomfortable because you didn't know anybody, and I knew some people, and I think I was still kind of like, I'm in vacation mode, and whatever. And like the past 48 hours have just been ridiculous. Like the insightful comments and like revelations and conversation and everything we've been having. Like, had I not said yes and just decided to be a sloth at home, which I do enjoy, I would have missed out on all this. And now for me, when we move forward and there's going to be more of these things happening inevitably, if I'm not here, I'm going to have the worst FOMO. Like, I will actually experience that, and I don't usually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I tend to do what I want to do. And this weekend I said yes, and it was the best decision I could have made.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I
So
think
say
that,
yes.
Yeah, we should thank Chris, Sared, and Jan for getting everybody
Oh my
outside.
God.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hey, the guy from April Adventure. This is actually Chris's idea to get us to this place, and it's beautiful.
Attaboy, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
And
We
also,
appreciate you.
A round of applause to Jessica, our host. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to check out the Harrison Lewis Center. If you're listening out there, check it out.
I think you guys got my Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Check it out. Twitter too.
All our handles are on the poster behind you.
Well, Facebook at hlc.org, facebook.com/hlc.org, Twitter at hl_center, and Instagram at Harrison Lewis Center. Check them out. Beautiful time. Beautiful day. This is a huge ass property with a bunch of cool huts and like a really cool walk to the beach, and this really beautiful place that we ate all the food and shared all the conversations and played all the music.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Let's take a minute and talk about food for a second.
Okay, let's talk food.
Are we gonna talk about like the experience in general? I feel like should we give the listeners like okay?
Let me tell you my lesson first,
Yes.
and then we'll get to it.
I'm sorry. I'm
Actually,
getting
no, you
eager.
wasn't
I'm just
finished? No,
eager.
but you didn't finish. Are you
No,
done with
you didn't
your
finish the
lesson?
lesson.
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah,
finish
yeah.
yours. You
No,
did?
just say yes.
Okay,
Just
cool.
say yes to
Just
stuff.
say yes.
Quit making excuses because you feel like you want to be the couch potato and just go outside and do it.
My lesson this week is to continue to search for balance. I think my new employment position has now relieved some of the hustle and bustle that I have to create in my life. Sid actually mentioned this today. He said he can party all night, but he needs to get his sleep, and then he can do all the things he needs to do. But if he wakes up and he gets 5 hours of sleep, well, now he's a sloth all day. So it's realizing that I need my 10 hours so that I can be productive for the rest of my day. It's knowing that I need to take this weekend away from working to come out here and enjoy life so that when I go back to work tomorrow, I'm more energized. I rested, but I'm energized in a different way. Yeah. And I think we can spin our own wheels for so long trying to get this thing that we want to accomplish done, and sometimes it's taking a step back and removing yourself from your chaos that gives you that breath of fresh air to then have more energy to go at it again. Go ahead, Meech.
You also talk about you're gonna stop hustling for a bit. How's that gonna work? Because you never really, as an entrepreneur, you never really entrepreneur and a go-getter.
Yeah.
You never really stop hustling.
I think my hustle will be less geared towards dollars because I don't have to chase the dollars. I think I'm gonna come to things like this and say, let's make a short documentary about this experience. And that's not work, and I'm not getting paid for it, but it's passion and it's something I love doing. It's still hustling. It's still the amount of work. The work is still there, but I'm not doing it for money. And I think that makes it easier for me to go and chase and do the things that I want to do because it's not about this dollar figure that's dangling in front of your face. So, I think that my drive and my energy to do that's not going to change, but I think it'll just be shifted and redirected elsewhere.
Okay.
So, good question. Thank you.
You're welcome. I got you.
Now let's talk about the experience of this week. I don't even know this week.
Why
I
are
don't
we
even
here?
know where to start. Yeah.
Why are we here? What brought us all together? Why are we here?
Just you guys' time to talk.
Yep.
You start.
You start? Okay. So I say we'll start with the reason we started showing nice at the Halifax Social Network.
Gotcha.
Because we kind of wanted to bring people together from different walks of life, different backgrounds. Doesn't matter what you do. You can be an entrepreneur, a risk taker, an influencer, a marketer. You can be a musician, an artist. Doesn't really matter what you do. Everyone has a story to tell. And we kind of wanted to create that space so people could feel welcome and have these open conversations. And I've been to a couple of networking events in the fall and a couple years ago, and it was more geared towards older people who own businesses and older entrepreneurs. And not everybody is an entrepreneur. Not everybody has an aspiration of opening or owning a business, but each person has a story to tell. Everyone is a creator. So we try to create that space to bring creative thinkers together and like-minded people together and try to see how we could work together and how we could build our community up from the ground up. So like I said earlier in the week, you got to really pour the cement, start the foundation and see how over time how it's gonna build up. Because we really got to start a foundation. You don't really want to buy a house, renovate it. You really, if you really want to invest in something, you really got to build it your own. And that's what we kind of wanted to do. And we kind of saw that Halifax has been booming the past couple of years, and it's been great.
Talk about it.
It's been great to try to get people together, and that's what we really want to do. And we're still learning process for us. Each month we're still learning, and we're learning from each other, and we get to know each other more because we're spending more quality time together.
Right.
And so it's been fun so far. I mean, it's a great journey.
So it started with hosting events.
Yeah.
And this is event number what now?
Kind of 7.
Yeah, 7 events. But our normal event once a month is our 5th. Well, we just finished around 5. But it's our 7th event in total over the past 5 months.
Okay. What brought you, Laura, to wanting to be a part of this?
Well, MEECH mentioned it to me once, and I was like, absolutely, because I was at every event except for the second one, Good Robot.
No, third one.
Third one?
Yeah.
Okay. And just the energy in the room and community development is something that I just kind of realized how much I really enjoy. I think it has some sort of play in the fact that my background is in kinetics and nutrition, and we talk about community development a lot, especially in the nutrition degree.
Really?
Yeah. How does that work?
Well, everyone eats.
Right.
So,
This is true. Yeah.
It's
Some of us lots.
Yeah.
That's a good name, by the way. Everyone eats.
I like it.
Yeah, so everyone eats. So we look at, in the nutrition degree, we look at politics, we look at sustainable development goals. When I saw that go in Common Good Solutions, I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
It's a pretty sick wall, eh?
Yeah. So, and we talk about how people can thrive in a community with the help of nutrition and exercise. So when MEECH said that, and I saw all the people in the room who were really having an impact on how we saw Halifax in a very hopeful way. Just to be part of that I'm very thankful, and it's very cool because there's so many people who are helping the Halifax Social Network move forward. There's people always messaging the account saying, what if you guys did this? What if you guys did this? And taking those ideas and trying to actualize them is just amazing. So and just looking to see how this kind of network can help influence the future of Halifax is really cool in a very sustainable way.
Right. MEECH, you mentioned something earlier about the last couple years Halifax is starting to become, or things are changing, or things are happening. What is happening?
It's people. So when I first moved to Nova Scotia, it was that kind of trend that it's no jobs here. All the young people are moving away.
Right.
And I feel that now the past 2 years, I feel that people started to grow up their balls and started to take risks and started to stay home and feel that, I can make an impact here.
Yeah.
I can I don't have to travel and go away to start something, or I don't have to go. Everyone wants to go to Toronto for some reason. I don't know what's in. Probably a gold mine in Toronto. I have no idea what's in Toronto.
Yeah.
Everyone always wants to go to Toronto. Then 3, 4, 5 months later, they come right back here.
Right.
So I never really got that. So I always when I moved there, I wanted to stay here. I want to experience and learn more about the province, learn more about what makes Nova Scotia so great. If you ask anyone who is from here or who moved away and who stay here, the common word everyone uses is love. People love Nova Scotia, and I realized that, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll fall in love with this province too. What
do you think people love most about Nova Scotia?
The first thing people love about Nova Scotia is the people. I find it's so friendly, so welcoming. People welcome you with open arms, and that's different from being elsewhere in Toronto. Like Bradley was talking earlier. Like you say, from me being from the Bahamas, if Laura comes walking past me down the street, I wouldn't even look at her, or I wouldn't even say hi to her at all.
Right.
That's just how it is. But here in Nova Scotia, people give you a wave, people give you a dap, people give you a smile, people might even give you a hug.
Yeah.
And that's just total strangers. And I think that that's one of the biggest things I love about this province. And I'm from the Bahamas, so I love being surrounded by water.
Right.
So that's one of the main reasons why I stayed here.
Dope. Laura?
Yeah, that's a common, like the water is really attractive, but we were talking about this yesterday. I'm from Ontario, or Ontario, however you want to say it.
Oh,
that's what
wow.
a lot of people,
I never heard that before.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Ontario?
Oh, I've used it.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay.
Ottawa's a great city. That's where I spent my school time, but then I spent summers in PEI. So my whole life has been waiting to get to the East Coast every summer. Like we had countdowns from April to get to PEI.
Amazing.
And the first time I came to Halifax, I felt like the same warm blanket of family that I feel in PEI where my actual family is. But I also felt the structure of a city. So it felt like the most amazing middle ground, you know?
That is a common theme that people seem to share, is that Halifax has that nice medium-sized city where it's not too overwhelming and
It's big enough.
right.
It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just the right size. It's big enough.
Mm-hmm.
What other than the obvious reasons of starting the social network, but why do you keep doing it?
It's for me. I have a personal goal. For me, I'm Christian, and a couple of years ago, I found out that my journey in life is why God put me on this earth is to keep building relationships with people, and that's my common goal, is to just keep building relationships with people. Doesn't matter, it could be a friendship, any kind of relationship. You could have a girlfriend, husband, wife, it could be a relationship from a distance. I love creating those relationships and building those lifelong relationships. And that's one of the main reasons why I continue to do it. I love bringing people together, and I love learning about people, and I love learning about people's stories and experiences. And that's one of the main reasons why I'll continue to do it.
Laura?
I would say, and I kind of defined what my purpose in life in a sport philosophy class last year. And I said that my purpose in life is to inspire purpose in everyday wonderment. So allowing people to dream, dream big, because it's attainable. You just need to realize it.
Yeah. You told a really, really cool story yesterday on our adventure that speaks to your reason why you're part of this, why adventures and nature mean so much to you. Can you share that, please?
Yeah, sure. I'll try not to cry today.
If you do, it's beautiful and it's real.
Yeah.
And
Jan just gave you a napkin.
Thanks, Jen.
love.
So, in my second year of university, I had a friend who took his life. It was on his birthday on December 25th. And it was a very pivotal time. I immediately dropped because me and another person, we were very close to him, and we didn't have any idea that this was something that he struggled with. From that moment, I wanted to be able to understand it. It was so hard to understand, and I tried to understand with multiple different ways. And then there's another moment about a year later when I was on the scene of a suicide where a boy in Antigonish jumped off my building. And that's when I actually dealt with it, because I didn't really deal with it after my friend died. I just kind of took it in and I never talked to anyone. But that was when, like, the second incident was when I had a panic attack, and I called my mom. And the thing that really helped me was when she said, "Laura, I just need you to tell me what you see." And I told her. "Tell me what you hear." And I told her. "And tell me what you smell." And immediately I felt like I was back into the moment, that I wasn't lost in my head, and that I could move forward. And then a couple months later, I went on exchange, and I got back, and I used to want to be a lawyer because he wanted to be a lawyer, and we were kind of working on that together. But I realized that that wasn't the path that I should really be taking to really actually affect change in a way that will help people like him who are struggling with mental health. So I stumbled upon an idea with the help of a sport philosophy class and an entrepreneurial class, and I realized that through exercise and nutrition and taking people out on experiences outdoors, we might be able to help them realize how they can take control over their life and how they can use an outlet such as exercise and nutrition to feel like they can get into a zone where time doesn't matter, where you feel like you are really living for your true purpose. And since then I've had a lot of fun, and it just means a lot to keep going with it because I'm doing it for a really big reason. Right. I find like I have talked to so many people and they just spill their story. Yeah. And like at first it was a lot to handle for me, but now I'm just like I can't wait to hear more, and I hope I'm able to help you. So. Yeah.
So, because there's 7 events, you said, total. 6?
6, 7 so far.
7.
Include this mix 7.
Right. So 5 of them were like traditional. Traditional, yeah. And then the other 2 are just adventure based. Collabs, yeah. Is that how you tie in to this?
I think
for their
like McNabbs and like this. Like,
no, not really.
Okay.
Laura just brings a lot of amazing, awesome things to the table. Yeah, she does, and it's just all the things that she do. Photography, just life in general, just social media, business development, community development. She does a lot of research to a lot of things that was really close to her heart, just like what she talked about.
Right.
And she has so many cool, innovative ideas that her brain is just always going.
Nice.
And to have someone like that on the team is like, what? You have to. If I don't, then I'm losing.
Right.
I feel like I'm losing in life if I didn't ask her.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pete.
No, that's dope. I even want to get into like our walk yesterday and connecting some of the things that we were asked to do during our adventure, and how those were things that you were asked to do. Can you talk a little bit about, like even that experience of like, all right, let's tap into your senses and figure out what's going on. Can you talk about that, like finding ways to feel what you're supposed to feel, and then sharing that with other people to do the same?
Yeah, I think especially the first 4 milestones, so just for listeners, the first 4 milestones are: what do you see, what do you hear, what do you smell, and what do you feel? And what we asked to do is to get people to do it all on their own. They're walking through the woods with other people, but no talking. And that usually is like everyone's favorite time, because it feels really uncomfortable at first, because you're always thinking, well, what's the other person thinking, Right. And it's very similar in life. Like people are sometimes very awkward around each other, and they always want to know what the other person's thinking. But tapping into your senses, those are things that every single human does, So if you can be around another human being and do the same things without having to talk to each other, it's incredibly powerful,
Somebody,
okay.
I was going to say, somebody in here had a conversation yesterday about not speaking for like NIKO. Is it NIKO, right? Yeah. You said you're talking about like waking up in the mornings and not having verbal conversations with people, and being able to read the people in the room based on their nonverbal communication, their body language. Yeah. So, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to piggyback on that because it's very true. Right?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that, we were walking through the first 4 milestones. I find that we always feel obligated to fill silence with stuff that isn't really valuable. We just talk to talk because the silence is uncomfortable, and we'd rather, it's almost like a tick. Not like the kind that we had to like pull off ourselves, but the other kind. But I thought that was really interesting because what I had noticed as we were going through the first 4 milestones was we always just walk on by. We're thinking about other things, and even that one-liner, you know, what do you hear? You have to sort of shut down all the random thoughts that you're having to pay the hell attention to where you are in the moment. And so it was very interesting. It was very, it was therapeutic, really.
I would say that's probably the first time I went on a hike and I didn't think about other things. I feel like every time I go on a hike, I think about what I'm gonna cook for dinner, or what I gotta do to work the next day, or what I gotta do to work when I get in. I always think about other stuff that I have to get done throughout my day. I never think about what I'm feeling, what I'm hearing. I never think about that stuff. So that's the first experience I ever had. I had doing that.
I wanted to thank you for that too, because there was a moment where I was like, what do I hear? And we take our hearing for granted because we just hear things all the time. And we're not sometimes hearing anything.
Right. Yeah. I think A for Adventure, Yan and Chris, or Jan. I always say Yan, I'm sorry.
You can call me Yan if you want. It doesn't really mind.
Okay. I think you guys would really understand this, but someone told me last year, and he's actually doing a lot of community development in New Brunswick and running community gardens. And we talked about the power of nature. And one theory that he told me was how being around nature really slows you down because it is a living being. You know, it's a living organism that is moving very slowly. So if you can appreciate your surroundings and be in the moment and look at like how amazing it is. And NIKO, I love that you drew all the different plants that you didn't even know, because it's incredible that such a like profound, there's so much of it out there that we don't actually appreciate, and it really does slow you down.
Are you looking out at nature as you're I was like, what is she looking at?
Not even I think it's appreciation, but it's also we're just disconnected. Like we are disconnected from nature. Like when one of the thoughts that I had when we were walking, it was like, oh, what do you hear? I'm listening. I'm like, I don't know what that bird is. I don't know what that noise from an insect is. Like, I don't know what those things are. I can't put a name to them because I haven't spent enough time in and amongst those things to know, you know?
I kind of felt obligated just now, Terrence, to tell you now. I think I hit a record. That's the third time I ever drank a full cup of water.
Good. Hydration, baby. Keep coming to podcast.
Because we're sitting behind the fire. I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah, you guys are sitting in front of the fire.
Yeah,
So I think it's a really good segue into talking and sharing stories. So I think getting people doing activities outside or in a kitchen is a really good segue into sharing stories, which is something that we don't do enough at all. And which is something that the Halifax Social Network is really
real stories.
Yeah.
I did this thing and it was amazing and I got this many likes on it.
And I posted it on my Instagram story.
Yeah, not the vulnerable.
There's my life.
Deep shit that actually moves you or took you to a place.
I think Jan said it on Friday night when we around the bonfire. That's where real stories that's where real storytelling gets is around the bonfire. And I think that Friday night was great because we all share one cool thing about us, or maybe a weird thing. Well, my thing was pretty weird. But
what was your thing?
I can't really tell it to the public. No.
Okay. That means
you had to be there. You don't want to miss out the next one.
People probably look at me different if.
Okay. We gotta keep that secret.
Yeah, we keep that secret for now, just for friends.
Good. Yeah.
But that's where a lot of cool stories happen is around the bonfire. Yeah. And A for Adventure is coming up with a couple of cool things that they're gonna be bringing up in the future. But I think that it's gonna be a trend that everybody's gonna be doing, and I think that it'll probably take off because people could do it randomly by themselves and send you guys videos, and you guys could just compilate all those together. And I think that it'll impact especially our province for the better.
I think the most impactful change would be to, it's one thing to go out on a retreat like this, but if you can have a workspace that, is conducive to what you actually talk about on the retreat, and have like live walls or
I've been so advocating for that in our space.
have you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, living wall. Emily's working on it.
Is she?
Yes.
I bet she is.
Yeah, she is.
Her brain's also always working.
Yes, it is.
She sits behind me in the office.
Oh, that's
we have
awesome.
desk mates. It's cool.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
You know what the coolest workspace in the room is Jessica. This is her workspace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets this all day.
Yeah, it's just really dope. This is cool.
Yeah.
Do we divulge all the things that we did? Because that was just like one portion. I feel so. Relating to, you said when you're in nature, it seems like things just move more slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So when we mentioned like how many hours have we actually been here? Emily and I were the first ones to arrive after. Well, no, we were like, yeah, after Kristen. And that was like 9:30, and it's now noon on Sunday. However many hours that is. It seems like we've been here forever. But like in the most positive way, like in the most positive sense, like it's like all the things that we've done together. And yes, bless you for getting us up early in the morning, and Bradley, and running around, and it's wake up time. All you needed was like a cowbell.
I know.
So we'll get that for next time, or a gong.
I'm just gonna get a loudspeaker.
Get a frying pan and a spoon back there. That would work.
That is true.
Yeah,
we probably start some celebrations on frying pan and spoons.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn up.
Yeah, but getting to spend this many hours unplugged from all the perceived obligations we have with our jobs and families.
Perceived obligations.
Well, your perception is your reality, right? So what your priorities are the most important things to you. So if you put a lot of time into it, then it must be important. So I've been trying to invest more time in myself. And again, this weekend was one of those things. But
how do you determine what obligation is a real obligation?
Is it going to help me get to where is it part of Lauren's Grandmaster vision, or is it a distraction?
Right.
Is it going to improve my health or wellness or mental functioning, or is it going to develop a key relationship, or is it going to position me for something later down the road? Those are the things that I'm trying to take advantage of.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going. I just want to ask a question.
Eternal opportunist is what I call myself.
You plan. You plan.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys.
Go for it.
So, what was your idea coming into this weekend, that what this weekend was going to be like?
I actually had no expectations. Like, Emily and I were driving here, and we got turned around a couple of times, but I think on the hike back yesterday, we kind of looked at each other and were like, fuck, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you think it's so awesome? And we both kind of came to the same conclusion that we weren't sure what to expect. Even with the itinerary, we already knew what we were doing, and we're like, okay, is it really going to be that, like, we're like at camp, and is it whatever? And, you know, and like based on the networking events that I've been to, which is only a couple, I wasn't expecting that, but I really didn't expect all of this. I didn't expect that, you know, Chris and Jan were going to be here helping us feel like we can all be okay in nature, you know, us city folk. And we haven't even talked about Jonathan and Autumn yet, and like them having their 6-month-old daughter here, and the nutrition component, like the beautiful food and meals that we've had. And I know Terrence has captured a lot of this on film, and I'm glad, because to recap it now, it just
not even
being in the moment, that was like, you guys all know, we're all sitting here right now, you know how powerful having meals together was, and like that's something that I really grew up with my clan, and it's still something very important. Like my 87-year-old grandmother still cooks for 20 people every other week.
Wow.
And on her own, like she doesn't let people in her kitchen, like that's just a thing, but it's love, right? And just like we were all watching Autumn and Jonathan like feverishly. By the way, they only moved here 2 weeks ago from Vancouver, and you guys all have to meet them and their little love story and their amazing little family. And by the way, Emily saw you guys at the farmers market last week. She was with one of her other friends, and they were sitting on the stairs at the Seaport Market eating. And they saw you and had already commented about like, oh man, what a gorgeous couple. Like they're just, I bet you they like, look at their baby. She's so beautiful. And then she was like, and then they showed up, and they're amazing people too. So like, oh my God. This weekend has kind of been, it's almost been more of an indulgence than anything else. You know, it's like a reinvestment in my own energy. And so I just feel like nourished and just feel loved and all those types of things. It's just been like a ridiculously awesome weekend. And so the next one that we do, I just want to bring my partner with me so he can be here too, because it's just been so wonderful.
Yeah.
Can we take a minute and appreciate the food that we got?
Can we like talk about it?
Yeah.
All very plant-based.
Yeah.
And just
Not very plant-based. Completely
that's what I mean.
plant-based.
Very plant-based.
No.
I know completely.
Very and completely are not the same.
Well, completely. Well, wait, there was some eggs this morning. But listen, it only added on, like, it was...
That's why she said very.
They weren't the focus, it was the bonus.
We could just edit that part out too. No, the food was fire.
But what was the biggest
Oh,
revelation for everybody?
goodness.
We all know it's the avocado toast.
Yeah.
Not the avocado toast.
I mean,
But
That's
for
my-
anybody listening that isn't here right now, the next time you make avocado toast, mix a
You're
little
not
bit.
you're not gonna give up the secret.
Okay, but you got me the next one. I almost did.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Okay,
Don't
well,
do that. Hey, I got
y'all
you
are
guys
missing
back.
out
I got
because
you
it's
guys
amazing.
back. She about to blow the whole secret. No, not today. We can't be doing that. Yeah, the food was fire. Your question on what we expected. I didn't have a sweet clue either. I knew it was 2 hours away. I knew there was gonna be bugs and to bring a sleeping bag. And that was it. And they didn't bring a sleeping bag.
I was just gonna say that.
Froze last night.
you borrowed my sleeping bag, by the way. I went back to look for it, couldn't find it.
Yeah, because I had a long sleeve thermal, 3 hoodies, a shirt, long johns,
You didn't read that itinerary.
pants.
The packing list, Terrence, it was
Packing
there.
list. You didn't read that, did you?
Apparently not. I was cold. I didn't sleep much.
But you weren't hungry.
Listen, the food, I ate so much food
Yeah.
and didn't feel sick. Or bloated or heavy or sluggish. There was quinoa, there was avocados, there was potatoes and peas and
There's 2 different kinds of salad.
You can talk about the new
47 different kinds of
You guys
fruit.
tried out this weekend. The passion fruit.
Yes.
You mean the Sharon fruit?
The Sharon fruit.
That's a star?
No, that's
Also
not.
the star. No, the
Also
orange one
star.
that looks like a tomato but hard with no seeds in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit's real. It's called the Sharon fruit, folks. Go buy some.
We got exposed to delicious, healthy things this week. So again,
Thanks, Otto.
thank you to
In
the
a,
fam
in
in
a
the back.
very passionate way. Like you could really tell that Autumn like loves doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Because she
So
kicked everybody out of the kitchen. She's like, you know what? I want to take care
She's
of this.
on it.
yeah.
No, that's dope.
Jonathan's the fabulous sous chef, though, so like, you also
yeah.
get props.
Yeah. Squad. You can't do it by yourself. You can't. Teamwork made the dream work, baby. We know that. I didn't know what to expect, but the experiences of what happened. I love that Sid. Where did Sid go? I love that Sid uses the term experiences factory.
You probably went back to sleep.
Yeah, well, he had to get his 10 hours so he can function the rest of the day. Oh no, here's Sid. Sid pops him out of the back of the kitchen. I think for me, I was born and raised in the city. I've spent half my life in Nova Scotia, but it's crazy to see that like the beach that we were at didn't look like a beach from Nova Scotia.
Oh, no. It was like a hybrid between like a Caribbean island, but with our rocks. It
Wow.
was
Naked?
so bizarre. Yeah.
That's the first time I ever saw the water clear.
Yeah,
That's what I
In
mean. It was
Canada.
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like
that was
light
incredible.
blue. Terrence and I were standing up on some rocks and we're like,
My mom
where
used
the
to,
hell are we?
Yeah, the
my
blues.
mom used to tell me it should be some clear water. I'm like, Mom, that's just a myth.
Then you
I've never
found
seen
it. Then you found it.
Yeah, I found
Yeah,
it.
and
You
that's
won't find it in Fundy, but
And
find
that's
it
the
here.
thing that's beautiful is like we went on an adventure. We didn't know what was gonna happen, and then because we had no expectations,
That's why you enjoyed yourself.
boom. So again, for the 5th or 6th time, thank you
Yeah.
You're welcome.
for doing what you do best.
We didn't skip over some booze. You know, we did go to Boxing Rock and
Oh yeah, had nachos and
that
stuff.
was fun.
The little what are those little beers in the little
Flights?
flights?
Yeah.
Had little
Yeah.
flights.
You gotta expand your mind in the craft beer industry. Then you
Okay.
know what a flight is.
I know. I'm learning. And those cool little wooden flight holders.
Yeah.
Those are cool. Those are cool.
And we actually had exercise as well. I mean, other than the hike.
Well,
Yeah, don't say we.
have
Yeah,
exercise.
don't say we.
He did
Don't say
have
we.
So-
exercise.
I wasn't there,
That's right.
but you guys worked out for me.
That's right. But Autumn also led her first yoga class on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And that was
Beautiful.
amazing. We're like at the ocean. I think I mentioned when we had the opportunity to do some of Laura's activities that I felt very centered. And I usually don't use this kind of language, so it's like weird for me to say this kind of stuff, you know? Like I'm like trying to broaden my horizons and things. But I always do feel at home beside the water. And so to start our morning that way, and pretty early after we've been up fairly late on Friday night and, you know, singing and all those kinds of things, being by the water and starting there and having flow there and just like, I think MEECH got a couple of really amazing pictures of like Autumn with Flo like wrapping up the session. But to start your day like that, was just like, shit.
That's what you want.
I don't want to go back to the city.
Autumn, you're a real MVP, by the way.
Yeah.
Factuals.
And then this morning with MEECH and Bradley taking us through a little HIIT workout again, down on the beach in front of the water, and definitely wasn't as early. We got it done.
There were some moments in time where I just stared. I tried to find like a little spot in the water and just like watch it for like a very long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
You fell asleep on the beach, by the way.
I was having a moment. I was in the moment.
And that's why I walked straight past it. I didn't want it to bother you.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't even want to wake you up. No. I didn't even know you were sleeping.
Thank
Sleep
you.
was standing up.
I felt good. I felt really good.
That's pretty hard to do. Sleep standing up.
It was like a sit and lean back in an upright position.
I call it standing up.
Okay, we call it stand up. Then. Stand up and sleep. That's the first time for everything.
Oh, and then last night.
Gee, I keep trying to segue to the next topic, and Lauren, stick on this one. Keep going. Go ahead. No, keep going. Keep going.
Listen, I'm just trying to highlight all the amazing things that this one weekend has done for, you know, almost 20 of us. How late were we up last night with friggin' Verena and Jan?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Each have, like,
Jam
just a
sessions.
ukulele and a couple guitars and just, like, their amazing voices and just, like, the variety of music. And when the hell is the last time most of us have stopped just to sing our guts out?
We sat here for a
Like
good
never.
hour and some change, just like gushing, as you would use the term.
Yes.
Nah, that was epic, and that was
And spoken
after.
word, yes.
That was after
Yes.
your campfire spoken word, which
That was amazing.
You did like 6 or 7 pieces and sung some songs, and told some poems. There's the scrunch face. There it is, right there.
I felt like
It's
a
great.
better person after that. I have to listen to that. Good.
I felt like I put you guys to sleep, so thank you.
No, you put Bradley to sleep probably.
No. Bradley was in here. Bradley, you guys were
Sleeping
singing.
in a chair.
Bradley fell asleep in the chair, arms folded, like just it was beautiful. And Bradley too was in the moment and was soothed to sleep by the sounds of beautiful people creating beautiful art and
I
music.
didn't want to leave this space.
Couldn't.
Exactly. So
Couldn't.
just
So
committed.
he slept in the chair in the kitchen.
So I'm sorry, you can segue. I just,
Well, is there anything else that we want to kind of bow up for this event this weekend before I take us somewhere else?
I would just like to say it's pretty cool to bring a bunch of different people together who do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And see how we could all share like a common goal and like being relaxed and enjoying nature and
God, Chris,
just
do it.
getting us to be outside and just enjoying life in general. I mean, I made a comment earlier. I said I'm living my best life. And trust me, this weekend I was living my best life.
Good for you.
That breakfast needs just the right light.
It was. It needed the right light.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jessica, for that. It needed the right light.
Yeah.
It was a great weekend and couldn't have asked for it to be any better.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this kind of stuff just needs to happen more often because you can get into like a routine of things in the city and you lose touch with like who you are and what makes you you. So it's just a great time to be around people who are also looking for that and just enjoy it.
And that was really my point is y'all are going to want to be at the next one.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think we've all marveled at like, this really only cost me $25 in food and, whatever besides the beer that you brought, right? For like 3 days plus, what was it, like less than $45 for all of us to stay here each, like that's so reasonable. What kind of, right, when's the last time you decide to spend like about $100 if you even went that far on yourself
And that's
for a whole weekend.
And that's the beautiful thing about this province. So many hidden gems that we don't know. And that's why, for myself this year, my goal is to try and explore more of this province and get to know Nova Scotia a lot more. And you guys might not know this, but one of the first things I do in the morning one of the first things I do on Instagram is look at Jan and Chris' business at A for Adventure, because you guys are always outside doing something. So you guys always like get my mind going. I said, okay, well, they went on a hike this morning. I'm gonna go for a hike. Or
Inspiration.
I was like, Jan went to the water. Jan goes to the beach all the time. Try to get me to the water still.
You don't swim.
That's not. So I'm a swimmer.
Okay.
I guess don't swim in cold water.
Yeah, that's fair.
It hurts.
Yeah, it does.
That's how good.
It does. It sucks being cold.
I mean, we were all athletes, and especially learning to
Used to the freaking cold tub.
being in the ice bath, and that hurt.
Yeah.
And the ocean's way colder than that.
And you're not doing it for the same reasons.
And I'm from the Bahamas.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I think, like you said, Lauren, the cool part is that people need to come to the next one. And one of the points that you made was using this network to take those who usually interact on the internet and find ways to bring them together in person. And for the 7th time, you're doing a fantastic job of that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's question time. It's listener question time. Do any of our listeners...
About anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It can be to our guests. It can be to our host. It can be to anyone about anything. But we just want to engage on the back and forth, because we just talk here and we want to know how you feel. So if anyone's got a question they want to share, please share. Acid makes coffee. So you're making coffee, man. Keep doing your thing. Why are you looking at me like that? Make your coffee, Sid. Keep going.
Oh, another fun fact.
Go. While someone thinks of a question.
While someone thinks of a question. NIKO in the back here taught us education and something about waves.
Yeah.
When we were on our hike. I knew nothing about waves.
What did you learn about waves?
Where waves come from and the distance between waves. And I figured, I'm good for life now.
Where does a wave come from?
Well, waves can come from, I think, if I could remember, if it's a small storm or something coming in from the Caribbean or anywhere, he was saying, and the distance between waves depends on how strong. Am I right? How strong the storm is, or how strong?
Far away, yeah.
How far away?
So the time between wake is the distance between us and the storm, right?
I didn't know how waves were created.
Wow.
Oh.
I just thought it was just a natural thing.
And now our listeners know how a wave is created.
Well, I don't think I did it any justice trying to explain it.
All we know is that science.
Yeah.
You don't know, just Google it.
And if
or
you
ask
know,
NIKO.
Yeah,
Ask NIKO.
NIKO, how did they find you, NIKO?
How do they find you on the handle? What's your Instagram? What's your business?
East Coast Surf School.
East Coast Surf School.
Boom.
Yeah,
Check
I
him
remember
out.
this morning NIKO's like pro surfer. I was like, oh, it's so cool. It's like the coolest.
I love it. Question. Come on. Somebody ask a question, please. Somebody. Yes.
I actually don't have a question, but I just want to build on the conversation about silence and add one of the takeaways that I try to practice. Instead of just speaking to speak, we should always ask ourselves, is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? So before we speak, these are things that we should ask ourselves.
Is it true?
Is it kind? And is it necessary?
Oh, I love it.
That's awesome.
Where does that come from?
Just pull up a chair right there.
Yeah, sit. Yeah, sit.
Welcome on to the show.
Yeah,
This is
you wanted
Miss
her on.
Chef.
You asked her.
This
Now
is Miss Chef.
Yeah, she's here now. Yeah, just pull it. That's perfect. Yeah. And then you said, you can hear yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
You just gotta talk.
you
Probably gotta come a
just
little
into it.
closer.
Yeah,
Hey.
perfect.
You'll hear yourself in the mic. Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
There you go.
Do you want me to elaborate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Okay. So yeah, I was just going back to the walk that we had in silence and asking ourselves, to check in with our surroundings about what we hear, what we feel, what we see. And I love the conversation that we brought up about speaking, and we often say things just to say things, and that often leads to gossip or hurtful things being said or things that just aren't necessarily needed. So one thing that I like to practice, doesn't always end up in this way, but if you check in with yourself before you decide to speak and ask, is it kind, is it necessary, and is it true?
Never thought of that. Never thought of that.
Mental checklist before you have anything to say.
But I do think before I say stuff. Because I don't like saying dumb shit.
This is true.
And I don't like being wrong. I'm I'm very argumentative. I love to argue with people.
Right.
The only time I argue is when I'm right.
Right.
So I really think that just speaks to the fact that you like to win.
I do.
You just like to win.
Yeah. If I know I'm wrong, I won't say anything.
You don't engage.
I don't engage.
Yeah,
So I do think before I say things, but I'm going to apply that to when I...
Is it true? Is it kind?
Wow.
Is it necessary?
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank
Wonderful.
you. Oh, that was great. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? Yo, you got your hand up. Oh, that was just a chill, relax, like arm on the chair. Oh, okay, cool.
I think one of the guys from A for Adventure has a question. Jan loves to talk, so you definitely have 10 questions.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah, okay, I got a question.
Yeah, how about?
Jam, you want to come up?
Yeah, please.
All right. Now I feel so cool.
Yeah, you are. Welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, welcome.
First of all, you two together, like the tone of your voices is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
More yours than his.
Yeah. Hey, that's true.
Dwayne's gonna be jealous.
Yeah, sad face. We love you, Dwayne.
No, but like, you sound good on the mic.
Thank you.
You guys sounded great too. But
Yes.
like, you guys sound good.
Thank you. We've been practicing.
I can feel it.
Working. Yeah,
So we
thank you.
sound good and they sound good.
Yeah, I mean, good.
I like
I was
that.
sitting in the back there being like,
That's amazing. Thank you. Appreciate
just
that.
want you to know.
Thank you.
Felt like you should know.
Yes.
So yesterday we had a really lovely walk down to the beach.
Yeah.
And some amazing discussion with amazing humans. And I think like the thing that really shines around how powerful this weekend is a lot has to do with the size of the group. This seemed like the right amount of people.
Right.
Everyone had an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with somebody who's in the room and not it be a fleeting thing, not it be 30 seconds or 45 seconds.
Right.
Like, sit down and really dive deep.
Yeah, some vulnerable shit that we shared on those walks.
We
Like,
we definitely went deep. And Laura pointed this out, right? Where nature automatically opens people up to possibility within themselves, within a conversation, and within whatever possibility is coming for the future. So I guess like my question to you guys is, and this question was posed to me by a 7-year-old.
oh, jeez.
Okay. Here we
And
go.
the 7-year-old I was at a school. They warned me about this 7-year-old. And we were talking about this yesterday, and it's like stuck in my mind so much because they said this little guy, he's gonna be right on you.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna have to kick him out.
Yeah.
So I was like, that sounds like me when I was 7. I identify with that.
Yeah.
And he looked at me after we did this presentation. He was good as gold, and he was like super engaged and so helpful. And I was like, how can this little dude like possibly be a pain in the ass? I did see him be a pain in the ass later that day during lunch hour.
Okay.
So I can confirm that he has the spirit.
Yes.
But he looked at me at the end and he asked, he said, tell me something that you believe to be true that somebody else would think is crazy.
Wow, yeah, okay.
Right? 7-year-olds, wisdom. I'm out.
Wow. Thank you.
Leave us with that. Holy.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my God.
Something that we believe is true that someone else would think is crazy.
Gotta think about that one.
answer him? Why don't we start with that?
That would be way too easy. I'm not going to offer up my solution just yet.
I have one.
I sat there dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Completely gobsmacked.
Yeah.
thinking that I was like gonna just easily breeze through a question or an answer.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think I've ever been floored harder than that by a participant asking a question specifically or from a kid.
Right.
So what's your answer?
Okay, fair enough. So I guess one thing that, and this weekend reinforces, and I think we're all feeling it right now, but I really believe, truly and wholly, that the Earth is alive. And the more time you spend in Earth, or not in Earth, well, actually, yes, in Earth. You know, one of the more profound experiences of this is not so recently. I was in a cave in Spain, as you do.
As one finds,
as one
his
finds
or
themselves
herself.
from time to time. And I kept putting my hand on the wall of the cave and feeling like I can feel its heartbeat. I can feel the Earth, like it's here, like it's alive.
Yeah.
And here we are doing our very level-headed best as humans to destroy it. And this thing that gave us life, that sustains our life, it's alive. And not everyone, we have this dissociation, right, between us as humans, as beings, and Earth, when really we're all completely interconnected.
Yeah.
So that was my answer. I believe that the Earth is alive, and I believe that to be true, even though some people might think that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's also some insight into. I had the privilege of having Jan as our facilitator during the second half of our hike with Verena and Jonathan, and you have like lots of profound like insights. And I know you only shared like half a dozen on the walk, but I'm like, every time Jan speaks, I'm like, what am I about to learn right now? I feel like I'm gonna learn some shit.
Yeah.
I still don't have an answer to that 7-year-old's question. Holy God.
I have one, I think. I think the power of collaboration proves that anything is possible. Like I really do feel that way. And as someone who spent so much time working on my own and like not really getting anywhere, and you know that like, oh, you can do anything you want. I'm like, no, you can't. But I'm inclined to believe that you can.
I agree with that.
If you find the right people, you have a plan, and you work together. So I think this is another example of the things that can happen if people work together. That I've gone on more hikes with the Halifax Social Network than I have in my whole life. No, big serious. Yeah. Like, I don't go walking in nature. What the fuck? And I've had some of the most like profound life experiences in nature that is alive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be mine.
Good.
Great question.
Anything is possible.
Anything. Yeah, it is. I mean, I believe that I'm going to take over the world one day, and other people think I'm crazy.
Yeah. I don't.
I believe
you just let me know what you need me to do to help you do that. Because I'm in.
Yeah. It's since I was 7 years old. So Pinky and the Brain is my favorite Pinky and the Brain is my favorite show all time. That's what really matter with it. All time favorite show.
Okay.
And it's my favorite cartoon. And I learned when I was 7 years old a big thing about life. Really, I actually have them tattooed on me. Pinky and the Brain is my favorite tattoo.
I love it. I love that.
So I watch the show. Even to today, I still watch all the old episodes. Every Saturday morning, I'm still a kid. I wake up on Saturday mornings and I turn cartoons on.
Yeah.
Because that's my thing.
Good for you.
And so I realized that every episode, Pinky and the Brain would fail. The common goal of the whole show is two mouths trying to take over the world. Doesn't matter. Nothing's going to stop them.
Right.
Trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
And they shit the bed every episode.
Yeah.
Every episode, they shit the bed. But the next episode, they rebuttal and gather themselves. And Pinky goes, Brain, what are we going to do today? And Brain goes, Pinky, the same shit we do every day.
Yeah.
Try to take over the world. Yeah. And I realized that it doesn't matter how many times you fail in life, how many times you mess up, how many times you make mistakes.
That's facts.
Just refocus, gather yourself. The next day, just start the same thing and just do that. So every day I wake up, doesn't matter. Someone's going to ask you what you do, how's your day going, what's going on today. Yeah. My same answer is always going to be trying to take over the world. And that's my goal in life, really. Yeah. So one day I'm going to hit the lotto.
That's my question. What does take over the world look like from Demetrius
to his eyeballs?
It's a lot of things, and I'm working towards it. If I were to tell you that, then I wouldn't be it wouldn't be accomplished. So I got to keep those kind of things to myself.
Yeah, smart man. Good answer.
Just between a man and his dog, eh?
Yeah.
Between a man and his dog.
Are you more pinky or more brain?
I'm definitely more brain, but I have a side of pinky in me too.
Don't we all?
If you're doing auditions for your pinky, like, let me know. I'll
Okay.
put my resume in there.
Teamwork.
How you feel about that, Chris?
Go for it.
Deal. Lauren, do you have Lauren or Laura? Do either of you have an answer to this
I do, yeah.
great 7-year-old question?
Awesome question.
Yeah, facts.
But my answer kind of ties into what I'm really passionate about. I really believe that everyone in my lifetime will enjoy going to work, and will.
Oh
That's
shit!
a good one.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to enjoy going to work, and it's something that my parents, going deep if you want me to.
Do it.
My parents, they work 10 months of the year, really, really hard, and spend 2 summers, all of their summer off, which is, it's a very big luxury, but those 10 months are head down into work, and it took a toll on us as kids.
How?
They were always stressed, I know my dad really loves what he's doing, but I don't think I really understood that he loved what he's doing until I was a lot older and could see how he communicates how much he loves what he's doing. And the same with my mom, but I think that everyone can enjoy going to work every day, just with a little bit of help, And I think it's going to be possible by the end of my lifetime.
Yeah, I would say most people would probably
think
you're crazy about that for sure.
Yeah. The first time you said that, I was like, I don't know if that's possible.
That's ambitious.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best. And I will help in any ways I can in helping make that real in a reality. Dope. Good for you. Lauren, shut her down.
Definitely also related to my work. I've thought this for a long, long time, since I moved away to go to school in Winnipeg and realized, oh yeah, home is pretty bitchin'.
Yep.
I believe that investing in Atlantic Canada is one of the smartest things that any person can do.
Motherfucking right.
And there are pretty much everybody, most of the people that live here, especially people that don't live here, would absolutely think I'm crazy to say that. And I also like to be right. I'm also very competitive. But I know in my heart and my soul that we can all have prosperous, well-connected, thriving livelihoods here. I know that. And for other people to say otherwise is bullshit.
And that's why we all come together.
Let them know. Let them know.
Yep.
Placemaking for good and getting people jobs and building social networks in Halifax and hosting people often and taking
people on hikes
and A's for adventures. Anybody else got a business in here?
Enjoying photography.
Yeah, 2 cream, 2 sugar.
2 cream, 2 sugars.
Boom. You got
taking people on educational rides. Yes, teaching us about waves, teaching us how to surf. I mean, I'm not good on boards, but I'll learn.
NIKO will show you.
I'll learn. Yeah.
What a beautiful conversation.
It is.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jessica, for having us here.
Yes.
Yeah. One more. Halifax Social Network. How do they find you guys on the internet waves?
Instagram at Halifax Social Network. Facebook, Halifax Social Network. Apparently we're on Twitter.
Apparently.
Probably Halifax Social Network.
Boom.
Yeah, pretty easy. Oh, and we have a website as well.
Yeah,
which
you
is
do.
also
we launched our website last month. Thanks to Sean McMullen. He works hard.
Yeah, shout out to Sean. We miss you.
Sean does everything. And Ruth. Yeah. Sean. He did good with Ruth.
Yeah.
No kidding. Every time I see them, they're a wonderful couple too, but I'm just like, man, Ruth is...
She's
Fierce.
Yeah.
Fierce. Laura, where do they find you specifically on the socials?
I'm Instagram. Beyond the Creative Mind is photography, and that's kind of where.
Beyond the Creative Mind.
Yeah. I started like that handle was like my Tumblr thing back in high school, and I never really posted much on it. But then last year,
right?
Or was it Tumblr?
Right.
I can't remember.
Probably High Five.
I don't know. Well,
Yeesh, I don't even know what that is.
I'm only 22, so.
MySpace.
So you don't know what ICQ is?
Oh, ICQ.
I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
AOL, Messenger. Just over here nudging people the whole time.
Who made the sound? That was perfect.
That's how old we are.
Yes.
AIM. Wow, and ICQ. Damn, yo. We're aged folks. It's good though. That's all. Where did you?
Beyond the Creative Mind, that photography thing I started last year to kind of like brand what I'm talking about and what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I just write inspired. Like I gain inspiration from the photography to write something that might make you think. And then personal account is LM MacAulay. And then I think that's pretty much it.
Check her out. We can hear birds chirping. It sounds so cool right now.
It's magical.
MEECH, where do they find you?
They find me at Big MEECH 6 on Instagram, and just Demetrius Ferguson on Facebook. You also follow us on Instagram at Courtside Sneakers.
Yes.
As well, because that's my day job, and that's something I enjoy doing every day. So I enjoy going to work every day. And that's what I do it. It's a start.
Yeah.
4 for 4 at this table.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're winning.
I would love to give a personal shout out to Nathan Clark and Rebecca Clark. Just giving me the opportunity to stay in Nova Scotia, and that's the final reason why I'm here in Halifax actually, and in Nova Scotia because of Courtside, and I enjoy everything they do there.
Good. Yeah. Much love. Lauren.
Bradley, do you want to do our handles?
Yes, Bradley, come now. Do the handle, please. Yes.
Before you do, can we touch your hair?
For those who don't know, Bradley's black,
Don't approach people.
which means people want to touch his hair.
He's kind of in between though. He's light skinned. That's a whole.
You a black man, Bradley. Don't let
It's
him
its own thing.
Yeah.
I'm a black man, and I'm half white. And I fit in everywhere and nowhere. And that is a thing that happens.
We need
That's
to
a whole other thing. Yeah. We can't keep going there because
That sounds like a really cool
we share
topic.
that for sure.
We'll get into that soon. Where do they find the placers
Placemaking.
of making of
Placemaking
good?
4G on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter. All Placemaking 4G, and p4g.ca is our website.
Well, that's
you want to go there
easy.
because there's like jobs up and stuff.
You guys got a blog.
We got opportunities.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Our blog's on our website. Wait. It's on
our website as well.
You guys can
There
tell
are
them
some
I
blog
don't do
posts.
that stuff for us, obviously.
You don't do nothing.
I don't even know where it is.
Yeah.
Hey, for Halifax Social Network, we're gonna be starting a blog.
Yeah, you are.
Sweet.
Thanks a lot.
Writers.
That's why she's here.
Dope. Teamwork. Anything else, Bradley?
Well, we want to collab with Halifax Social Network, so we're probably going to be doing an event
This month.
mid-June, this month.
This June already, yeah.
Yeah, to launch our Why Here campaign.
Oh yes.
You mean the one I'm making a video for?
Hashtag Why Here.
Oh shit.
At Common Good
At Common Good
Solutions.
for all.
At the Common Good
Yes, at
Solutions space,
Common
for sure.
Solutions.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. This is
An
so
incredible
cool.
space.
This is a moment. This is a freaking awesome moment. I'm Terrence Taylor. You find me at Terrence J. Taylor on Instagram. Watch CTM on Instagram. TerrenceTaylorMedia.com. All things podcasts are at CTM Podcast. On Instagram, Facebook. Oh, we got a website coming too. Shit, sorry. YouTube.
How much passwords do you have?
I got
That's
too
like
many.
5 accounts.
I got too many.
Or just one
emails.
password. One password will
Too many
unlock them all.
emails, too much of that stuff. We got a website coming soon as well. But like I said, we're on YouTube, so there's a full version of this on video. I'm pointing at all the video listeners. Lisa from CBS
Lisa Louders
watches our show on Facebook, so
Love
you
you,
too
Lisa.
should watch our show on Facebook. Make sure you follow the Change the Narrative podcast on Instagram, Facebook. We're in, what else? The other one?
Oh, sorry.
This Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Change the Narrative podcast on YouTube.
I just
Make
subscribed.
You did subscribe?
I just
Thank you,
did.
Bradley, for subscribing. Everybody else, make sure you subscribe as well.
And where can they hear us?
that's what I had to tell him. Because I forgot to tell him that the first time. Download on Apple Podcasts, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. We're on, we're also at Stitcher. We're also on Player FM. We're on SoundCloud. We both will be Spotify. We're still waiting.
Okay.
It's like a process of waiting, but we'll be on there.
Also, too, any photos, videos you guys tag, don't forget to tag the Harrison with Center as well, and everything we did over the weekend.
Swag. Is that all the places that they need to know us at? Cool. Done. Change the Narrative Podcast. Thank everybody for coming.
Thank you guys for having us on the show. We really appreciate it.
Incredible. We see y'all next week.